Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's officially 2023. We are in the new year here, and with the new year comes New Year's resolutions. And I think that with the New Year's, a lot of people probably have getting into reading, creating a reading habit on their New Year's resolution list. And I'm here to help you with some tips on how to get back into reading. I think a lot of us throughout our lives have years where we disconnect from books and stop reading. Even if you were a really big reader when you were younger, I think life happens, and sometimes you just have years where you just don't pick up any books, and it's totally okay. It's never too late to get back into reading, and I don't think you should be intimidated by it. I was a huge reader when I was a child. I had years throughout my life, though, growing up where I didn't pick up a single book, especially during high school, college. Things just got busy. Outside of school coursework, just reading was not a priority. But I have made it a priority in my adult life, and I think it's actually not that hard to build the habit if you just take the time to sit down and do it. First, just set aside a small portion of the day to practice your reading skills. It's definitely a skill. You can't be thinking about other things and be reading at the same time, at least me personally. I think it definitely takes some work to concentrate on only one specific task. I feel like you have to retrain your brain to think a little bit slower, read across the page, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Start with 30 minutes a day. Pick a time every day where you want to read your book. Sit down and make it 30 minutes. I feel like once you start, it's really hard to put it down, especially if it's a gripping book. So the hardest part is going to be just starting and building that habit. Something that I found really useful for building this habit is to actually read ebooks. I think ebooks are a great way to kind of have your phone everywhere you go, and I think it's really helpful for building that habit. You could certainly go on Instagram, you could scroll on something else when you have little breaks throughout the day, or you could grab an ebook and you could read like a chapter. I think ebooks have definitely helped me consume more books because instead of looking at other apps, I will just flip to my Kindle app and start reading my book. This next tip is one that I think is honestly the most useful tip for getting back into reading, and that is to read things you actually enjoy. Do not force yourself to read books that you're uninterested in. If you're reading a book and you're not vibing with it, put it down. Just put it down. There is no rules here. You can give up on a book at any point in time. If on Netflix you only watch mysteries, then maybe that's a cue to you that you should start reading mystery books. That might be something you're interested in. I'm not saying only read one genre, but definitely pick things that at first that you think are going to be a home run. Another tip I have is kind of a little bit of a larger question, but what is motivating you to start reading? Is it that you want to connect with other people who are reading books? You want to be in on the loop on Book Talk, BookTube, or you just want to have like a new hobby? I think it's really important to know why you're trying to get back into reading. So I think there's several things that could be helpful depending on what your motivations are for getting back into reading. I think the first one, if you're just looking to kind of return to childhood and have the going to Barnes & Noble experience, I think it's great to make it a full experience of picking out a new book. Go to the bookstore, grab your coffee, walk around, browse, just read the backs of books until you find one that interests you. I promise you, there's so many books in Barnes & Noble. If you can't find one that interests you, just keep looking. Walk to a different section. I promise you there's going to be something there for you. Other things that you could do that would help kind of build accountability for this habit would be like join a book club. If you're interested in connecting with people and talking about books you're reading, you want to read what's popular, or maybe you even want to push yourself outside of your normal reading comfort zone, joining a book club is a great way to start reading books, and it's very low stakes. A book club probably meets once a month, so once a month you read one book. And how easy is that? If you went to every book club that year, you could read 12 books in a year, and that's incredible. Another way to just build hype around the reading experience is to watch BookTube videos, watch book talks, reels, whatever you're interested in. I think that's a really great way to find recommendations for what's new and popular coming out. I will say that you're not going to love everybody's recommendations, and it'll take you some time to figure out who is giving the best recommendations. But I think it's just really fun at first if you're new to reading to just hear what people are saying about books. A lot of booktubers will have videos that are their top 10 books ever in their life, and that's a great place to start. They have knowledge and experience, and they can help give you the best recommendations. That is my tips for getting back into reading. If you read one book this year, congrats, you're amazing. If you read 100, I mean, you are out there killing it. I think reading is great, no matter how much or how little you do it. I really hope you found some value in these tips, and if you have any others that you think really helped you get into reading, I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and watching this video. Please comment, like, subscribe if you liked any of these tips, and I hope you guys have the best reading year of your life.